Good morning, everyone. This is Joshua, another messenger. And today, I'm going to finish reading some of Genesis, where we left off yesterday, on chapter 4. We left off chapter 4 yesterday. And I'm going to finish reading from chapter 4. Okay, it says, "And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. And Abel he also brought off the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And the Lord said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? If thou dost well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou dost not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. And Cain talked with Abel his brother. It came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him." Basically, what happened was Cain was getting jealous of his brother, and he couldn't understand why God wasn't happy with what he was doing, but he was happy with what Abel was doing. Because what Abel was doing was he was actually giving a burnt offering, and that's what made Jesus respect, because he was given an extra. He was doing what he was supposed to do, plus giving a burnt offering, and that's what made Jesus happy. That's what made God happy. And he wasn't upset with him. He was just saying that he was just trying to explain to Cain that that's how sin can get in if you don't come give a burnt offering. And so while they were out in the field working, Cain killed him. Sad story, but this is how it is, and that's how it works. And that's how the world is. Still to this day, man, it really is. That's why we gotta love our brothers and sisters. That's why we should always talk with our brothers and sisters and teach and preach, so that way they can understand. So when nobody goes out and gets jealous or gets weird and starts killing each other and doing stupid things like what happened right here. I mean, we have this till today, all the way till today. Well, let me finish reading. Okay. And it said, if thou dost well, thou shalt not be accepted. And if thou dost not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him. And the Lord said unto Cain, Where is Abel, thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. You hear that? I mean, God knows if somebody hurts his children, he feels it immediately. Immediately, he knows. And that's why when you're a Christian, you don't have to worry about these principalities and evil powers against this world, because God knows, man. He's sitting there waiting. You don't mess with God's children, man. Okay, where we're at. And he said, What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which has opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. And Cain said unto the Lord, My punishment is great, greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that every one that findeth me shall slay me. And the Lord said unto him, Therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord said, Set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. And Cain went out from the presence of the Lord, and dwelt in the land of Nod, on the east of Eden. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived, and bare Enoch. And he builded a city, and called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch. And into Enoch was born Irad, and Irad begat Mahajul, and Mahajul begat Masul, and Masul begat Lamech. And Lamech took unto him two wives. The name of the one was Adah, and the name of the other was Zillah. And Adah bare Jabal. He was the father of such as dwell in tents, and of such as have cattle. And his brother name was Jabal. He was the father of all such as handle the harp and organ. And Zillah, she also bare Tubal, Cain, an instructor of every artificer in brass and iron. And the sister of Tubal, Cain, was Naamah. And Lamech said unto his wives, Adah and Zillah, Hear my voice, ye wives of Lamech, hearken unto my speech, for I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt. If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 and sevenfold. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son, and called his name Seth. For God said, He hath appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slew. And to Seth, to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enos. So Enos was the new Abel. Okay, Enos then began, well, not the new Abel, but that's what took Abel's place, was Enos, because he blessed her with another son because of what Cain had done. He felt her pain, and he bare another children. Okay. And he called his name Enos. Then began men to call upon the name of the Lord. See, Cain was cursed, and his family was cursed after that. He wasn't to be killed, and if anybody killed him, it would happen to them sevenfold. So she bare another son, and that son actually started preaching the word. And this is how the word started getting out, was through Enos and the family. So listen. Okay. This is the book of the Enos. Then began men to call upon the name of the Lord. This is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day of that God created man in the likeness of God. Made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam. In the day when they were created, and Adam lived 130 years, and begat a son in his own likeness, after his image, and he called his name Seth. And the days of Adam after he had begotten Seth were 800 years, and he begat sons and daughters. And all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. And Seth lived 105 years, and begat Enos. And Seth lived after begat Enos 870 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Seth were 912 years, and he died. And Enos lived 90 years and begat Canaan. And Enos lived after he begat Canaan 815 years, and he begat sons and daughters, and all the days of Enos were 905 years, and he died. And Canaan lived 70 years and begat Mahalalel. And Canaan lived after he begat Mahalalel 840 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Canaan were 910 years, and he died. And Mahalalel lived 65 years, and begat Jared. And Mahalalel lived after he begat Jared 830 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Mahalalel were 895 years, and he died. And Jared lived 162 years, and he begat Enoch. And Jared lived after he begat Enoch 800 years, and he begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Jared were 960, and the 2 years, and he died. And Enoch lived 65 years and begot Methuselah. And Enoch walked with God after he begot Methuselah 300 years, and begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Enoch were 365 years. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. And it says right here, and Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. And Methuselah lived 187 years, and begat Lamech. So what it's saying right there was that Enoch walked with God, and God took him to heaven. So apparently he didn't have a death. He actually kind of like how we were resurrected. He kind of resurrected him, is basically what this is saying. He didn't get to experience a death. He was resurrected. Um, Not from the dead, but he was okay. You know how God's coming, and he raptured him, not resurrected. Sorry, wrong word. He basically raptured him up, and that's what's happening. That's what's going to happen to us when the time comes. We're not we're living in grace, but that's how we're going to get there. It's kind of the same. It says that he walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. So God took him. And Methuselah lived 187 years, and begat Lamech. And Methuselah lived after he begat Lamech 782 years, and begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. And Lamech lived 180 182 years, and begot a son. And he called his name Noah, saying, the same shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands, because of the ground which the Lord hath cursed. And Lamech lived after he begot Noah 595 years, and begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Lamech were 777 years, and he died. And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begot Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And it came to pass, when men begat to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. So what the Lord was saying right then was that back in these days, God used to walk with Adam and Eve and the family. But he was telling them that he wasn't going to be walking with them for long, that he was leaving. So that meant that their years were going to go down in numbers of living. And if you've noticed, as I've been reading through Genesis, as each time they have another family and another generation, it goes down in years. If you've noticed, as I've been reading, their life gets shorter and shorter and shorter. And now it's gotten to the part to where he's saying that everybody's going to be living about 120 years. So that's what it's saying. Let's flip over. We're on chapter 6 right now, and we're still reading. Okay. There were giants in the earth in those days. And also after that, when the sons of God came in to the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were of old men of renown. You hear that? That means that basically that what that means was that some of God's people was coming down and making it with the humans. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth. Means that God wanted to change his mind. He had a change of heart, is what it was. And God saw that the was wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And he repented to the Lord that he made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And the Lord said, I will destroy man who I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations, and Noah walked with God. And Noah begat three sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth also was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. And God said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make thee an ark, gopher wood, rooms shalt thou make in the ark, and shalt pitch in within and without with pitch. And this is the fashion which thou shalt make it. Of the length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, and 300 cubits, the breadth of it 50 cubits, and the height of it 30 cubits. A window thou shall wait shalt thou make to the ark, and in a cubit shalt thou finish it above. And the door of the ark shalt thou set in the side thereof, with lower, second, and third stories shalt thou make it. And behold, even I do bring a flood of waters upon the earth to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life from under heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die. But with thee will I establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons, and thy wife, and thy sons' wives with thee. And of every living thing of all flesh, two of every sort, thou shalt bring unto the ark, to keep them alive with thee. They shall be male and female, of fowls after their kind, and of cattle after their kind, of every creeping thing of the earth after his kind. Two of every sort shall come unto thee, to keep them alive, and to take thou unto thee of all food that is eaten, and thou shalt gather it to thee, and it shall be for food for thee and for them. Thus did Noah according to all that God commanded him, so did he. Well, that was chapters 4 through 6, all up to 7, no, 4 through 7. And this is part 2 of, it's going to be several series. So this is part 2. And next, I'm going to read from 7 on to probably 8 or 9 or something like that. The next time I get on here. Well, anyways, I just wanted y'all to understand with me the Bible as I read it. I love y'all. Y'all have an amazing, blessed day, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye bye.